This is the American Dream, Dustin Rhodes, son of a plumber, daddy, and you're listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to a very shooter edition of the BCP. Very excited, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome in ahead of his appearance at Smash Master Wrestling in Pennsylvania. He's going to be in the Scrambler match, I believe, thanks to our friend Uncle Masty, guys. That's going to be on the 28th of this month. I can't wait for that. We'll be down there. Please welcome to the show. He is number 235 on the PWI, number 11 Outsports 2022 Cassandro Cup winner. He is a former Super 8 winner, also got involved in the ECWA Women's Super 8. We'll talk about that in a little bit. He is the head honcho, one of the lead goons. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Killian McMurphy. Welcome, Killian. Thank you so much for making the time, man.
Hello. It always feels good to have the Twitter bio read back to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I definitely wasn't reading that. I got you, man. But dude, and seriously, not just saying this, man. I got the stats, of course, doing the commentary thing, but I have legit been a fan of yours, not only because the accolades that I was clearly reading off of Twitter at the Shooter KM, shameless promo. But I love your mindset, the stuff you do with Dust, who is a national treasure. The creativity. I feel like with wrestling, there's so many like cliches, and I'm coming on Friday and like this kind of stuff. And you guys are such against the grain and outside the box and so creative. And I love that stuff. Like I talked to Dust about this a little bit. Like, what is kind of like your philosophy when it comes to like doing promos or doing these long-term storylines? Feud of the Year winners, by the way, I should add to the accolades, BCP, Feud of the Year winners. You guys are great. You think outside the box. Like, what is your philosophy when it comes to almost like taking those movie making elements, kind of the comedy, and turning that into wrestling promos and storylines?
Well, I say this a lot, and it really started during the pandemic with the question, more the prompt, right? Of we know what a wrestling match can be.
Yeah.
What else can a wrestling match be? And that's just regurgitated Dustin, like you said. Like he took us just spitballing and us trying to figure out what the hell to do during the pandemic, and he kind of made this motto up. And that has sunk its claws, like not just to our matches, but to, like you said, our promos and cinematic content, of course, kind of how it birthed. And then at podcasts with Rob's Like Anything But Wrestling, like just anything we can do that's different. And it's not always received the best, but things that are different aren't. So I appreciate you always being such a champion of the weird shit.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and I appreciate you guys because I feel like there's guys like you, Dust and Rob Radke, beautiful singing voice as well. Moran, Alex, Maestro, Shane Fair, like a little bit against the grain thinking, man, and I love that, man. Tell us a little bit about like these guys that you work with, because I still got to have Radke on the show. I love talking to him, man. But the Goons are essentially this group that are bad guys, but they're fun and like people kind of gravitate towards them too. But then you're always causing trouble. Like, talk to us about this this brotherhood, this union you guys have as the Goons.
It's funny because our connection, I think it's pretty evident, goes far outside of wrestling. I mean, Rob is someone who helped train me.
Oh, really?
Beginning. I mean, we're in the tag team Super 8 coming up.
Yes.
My second match ever was a tag match with Rob. So I've been with Rob since the beginning of my career. Dustin has been with me since the beginning of his career. His first ever match that he managed was Rob and I. Miles, of course, he didn't come from the same training camp, but another Delaware guy, AK, came from, like, him and I started within 2 weeks of each other at a wrestling. So we go way, way far back. And not just that, we maintain that closeness. And that closeness and that passion and that will and that drive for all of us to do better really elevates everything that we do. I mean, we were Friday, Miles, Rob, Dustin, and myself were all at like a theater workshop together. Cool. So we're like hanging out and spending time together, and we're like, hitting up the open bar and stuff, of course. But it's also there getting experience in front of people, right? Like doing something different, getting ideas, writing scripts for the theater to try, like, all kinds of different stuff that we take and we bring back to professional wrestling. So people steal it.
Yeah, I love that. And you guys are awesome, because I'm fairly new. Like, I've been doing the podcasting thing for a long time, but in terms of like the behind the curtain, the commentary and the backstage interviewing, like I'm still learning, and I see, and this isn't a knock, but like there's almost like an old school of thought, with some of the like veterans and stuff like that. And there's a reason. It's like, because some of those things still work, but I like a lot of the forward thinking too. Maybe I'm just inclined to go against the grain a little bit, like with being respectful, of course, but like I try to incorporate that into some of my backstage stuff. I love what you guys do. Point in case, we talked about you winning Feud of the Year with Erica. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but Dust now getting another nomination, I think, this year with the wedding and Mary Beth and all that stuff. I mean, Killian, I'm sure you were booked, man. We missed you at the wedding, man. I wanted to see you there.
Well, I was too busy trying to be history and getting thwarted.
Yeah.
But again, my arch nemesis, Erica Lee, at the 2022 Women's Super 8. I could have once again done something that no one else has done. A victory for men everywhere. A victory that us men really need. Definitely more opportunities for men, especially men like me in wrestling,
Oh boy. Well, you did play a critical, I'll say this, no comment on that, but I will say you did play a critical role. Like it or not, you changed the outcome of that match. Erica did become the ECWA or winner for the women. Long overdue.
You got me when you slipped in. No comment on that. I had it until you gracefully just dropped that right in the middle of your sentence.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, dude, you're doing so. Yeah, go ahead.
Very like all bullshit aside, I was like very, very excited and very, very lucky to be the one that didn't enter the Women's Super 8, but be able to be a villain and be a part of the Women's Super 8, and pretty crazy that the women involved were so accepting and like tolerant and like pro let's do stupid Killian shit.
Yeah.
Which made me very, very happy. So
your resume speaks for itself. They know you. They're excited to work with you. Yeah.
For sure. But it's like it very much was a night that wasn't about me, but I was very, very happy to be there and be able to do my thing, even without Dustin, who clearly is a sexist, because he's going to be at the Tag Super 8. He was at the Men's Super 8, but where was he at the Women's Super 8?
I guess not even getting married, just pulling a prank.
No. That's what he was doing. So everybody wants to act like I'm the bad guy. They're missing villain, Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin was breaking hearts. It was I was rooting for those two. I really was. But that being said, maybe that'll be a love angle of the year or love triangle of the year. We'll see what happens with that. But I want to talk to you about some of the stuff that you guys were doing outside of wrestling, the filmmaking. I believe it was February. It's been a while since I watched it. I watched it right before I had Dustin on, so forgive me if I don't remember everything correctly. I thought it was great. It was brilliant. It was cool to see like non-wrestling stuff. And I was really invested after talking to Dustin, some of the like subplots and messages that I'm just a drummer, like literally just went over my head. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I totally get that. But then there's kind of like a big, like, without giving it away, like a turn, like a big, like it just changes all of a sudden. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I think there was even a message in that, like looking back, man. Tell us a little bit about the philosophy behind February when everyone can check that out.
Well, we'll start with the second question first. You can go to YouTube and just look up Sunny Kiss, Killian McMurphy. I think it's listed under Valentine's Day Cinematic. It was during the era where we were doing holiday specials. So we had done a Halloween special for Magic, and then we did a
Santa.
Yeah, we did for MCW. We did a Christmas special, and then independently, all on our own, which is how they were anyway, but just release wise, platform wise, our YouTube channel, the Killian YouTube channel, released February, which is a short film, Valentine's Day themed, but also has, like you said, some very different elements to it. I didn't realize this at the time, but there is a name for that genre. It's called Rom Dram Zom.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
I was like, because at first Sonny and I were talking, we're like, let's do a rom-com.
Yeah.
And then we realized we're like, we can do, when Dustin and I sat down, when I sat down with the idea for Dust to write it, when I'm like, here's what we should do. Can you write a script? We kind of realized that there wasn't really that much room for a lot of comedy in this thing, because it's only 5.5 minutes. A couple funny parts, a couple like cute, the way things are delivered is kind of quirky at times. So there, you can smile, but it's certainly not a comedy. So it morphed into a rom-dram. And then we write the ending and it becomes a rom-dram-zom, which is my favorite term in film.
That's awesome. And it's so good, guys. Check that out. It's awesome. And like for me, I was excited to see something like non-wrestling. And I was going in, I was expecting, maybe there's going to be a little bit more comedy. And it just threw me. And it was like getting me in the feels. And then the ending, which we kind of hinted towards a little bit. So guys, check that out. Where do you, maybe I'm thinking, because tonight's the finale. I don't know if you watch like Breaking Bad and Saul and all that stuff. Tonight's the finale of.
Don't ruin it. I am on season 2, halfway through season 2 of Better Call Saul. So I started Breaking Bad for the first time ever, like a month ago.
What you think?
I think season 1 is good. I think season 2 and 3 start to kind of like, but then 4 and 5 just get absolutely awesome. And you have to bring them down to bring them back up, right? So excellent series. El Camino, I watched that. I think it's solid. So I'm going to finish Better Call Saul. I hope I can time it right with like it dropping on Netflix, because obviously don't have real TV. I don't really know anybody who has real TV.
Yeah, that's fair.
Uses a VPN and says he's in England, and they get the right away on Netflix. I'm like, damn it, I got to get a VPN.
Yeah, I just caught up on, so I was waiting. I'm not giving anything away, but tonight is the last episode. I'll say that we are having a solid day over here tonight. I'm very excited for the last episode. But my whole question for that, I'm glad that you can appreciate that. I see a little bit of just like in terms of the pacing and stuff that you guys kind of do. I see a little bit. I don't want to say Vince Gilligan is like, it's not like that dark or like gives you anxiety, but like a little bit of the pacing. Like, where do you guys pull from with your writing? In terms of the comedy and some of the drama.
Yeah, I think Vince Gilligan's an excellent. He's only influenced my work very recently, right? But Dustin's been pulling from his stuff.
Okay, so I was right. Okay,
beginning right, and like Breaking Bad is a funny television show. Like you forget how many like comedy spots are in Breaking Bad, and just the face that Bryan Cranston makes, and I think. Down to like the character of Saul Goodman influencing the character of Dustin Wilson and like physically, you know how like Saul will like everything's like right here for Saul a lot, like Dustin kind of does the same thing a lot of the time. So I think that comparison is very apt. I think it makes sense.
Just blew my mind with that. Anywhere else like you guys pull from maybe on the comedy end of things? Or anything that inspires you?
SpongeBob, I think, are for us to have our sense of humor and not point out how much SpongeBob has influenced Family Guy. A lot of like peak Family Guy. We have I don't want to give too much away. We'll just call it a video coming up with a company that we've been butting heads with a lot. Okay. And this video is very, very Family Guy, and I cannot wait for it to drop. So I'm very excited by that. So SpongeBob and Family Guy, 100%. BoJack Horseman to a lesser extent. I think that's influenced me in my life more than anything.
That's awesome, man.
But any of those adult cartoons, I think the snappiness and the zaniness is definitely something that's like influenced our work.
Yeah, and the fact that you guys are able to like, and I really had to think like that Saul Dustin thing blew my mind. I'm always going to think that moving forward, but like I'm still learning like the business, and I pay attention to you guys, and I'm trying to like make the connections and see how you guys kind of incorporate all those things into wrestling, man. So it's cool to study you guys and kind of people that kind of go against the grain or kind of take like maybe humor from SpongeBob and put that into the ring. Cause you guys are so good at I'm laughing because I'm just thinking about some of the stuff Dust does at getting reactions out of the crowd, whether it's some girls like cheering for Erica and Dust like, you silly little girl, sit down, like you guys are so great at what you guys do. And I'm such a fan, man. But something you're a fan, nice segue here, but something you're a huge fan of, we were talking about SpongeBob, Sonic the Hedgehog, man. I had to bring it up. I've listened to your interviews with Johnny and some other people, man. Most people go, like we're big retro game guys here in this house. Nuna's got a huge collection. Like, why Sonic? Like, why not Mario? Like, why did you gravitate towards Sonic?
So, are you looking for like Sonic compared to Mario, or just like the story of?
I guess just like you, like why is like Wolverine's my guy? Like, why is Sonic like your guy? I guess.
So I guess for context, it kind of started over the pandemic. A lot of people like learned a new language or something like that, and studied the canon of Sonic the Hedgehog and learned everything that I could over the course of quarantine. And it feels to me like a safe place.
I like that.
And I think especially the quarantine times, not just professionally, but like what I was going through personally, having that safety net of like bright colored cartoon animal was like a very familiar thing in this very unknown time. And you just can't sink your teeth into Mario like that. You really can't. I mean, what are you you can play a game, but you can't. Mario doesn't have enough meat on the bone to ingratiate yourself into a culture like Sonic the Hedgehog does. Who is Mario? We have no fucking idea who Mario is, but we can name 4 different personalities that Sonic the Hedgehog has had over the course of 30 years. So it, especially the comic books in particular, there have been there was a story arc called the Metal Virus, which was zombie apocalypse. Eggman has created this virus that can touch people and it turns them into robots. And this virus is spreading. And this shit happened to come out in February of 2020. The first book in this arc, and it runs right through when COVID was at its absolute worst. And there's themes of like people not wanting to tell people they're sick and getting other people sick, and like they're killing off characters. Like, they're going to come back because they're only turned into zombie robots and they're going to eventually transform, blah, 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 blah. But, these characters that I've loved since I was a kid are having these death speeches, and it sounds dark and it sounds brutal. It was just absolutely timed perfectly, and I think it's the best Sonic the Hedgehog's ever been. That, in addition to like the movies, like I'm a sucker for a good marketing campaign. You can tell how much we love the Minions. Like I was sucked into the marketing of the first movie. Like big picture, that's really what happened. But personally, that's kind of my connection to Sonic.
Do you think that first trailer that came out where he looked real funny and he had the weird teeth, do you think that was real? Like, do you think they were like, that was some sort of marketing ploy or something? That was interesting, man. Because it was so weird.
I think I'm sure there's footage of me out there saying it was a marketing ploy because I like saying that as a joke, but I'm feeling very honest today, and I don't think it was a joke. I don't think it was a joke at all. I think it was. You look at a lot of these like 3D renders of these classic characters, and a lot of them look really, really, really shitty. And honestly, there's a million reasons to do some of the stuff they did character design wise. Look, like lessening the size of the hands so the arms can be more mobile and do anything. You ever seen a Sonic character cross their arms? It's just two big hands.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
there's physically can't there's certain like looking up as Sonic. How's it gonna fucking do that? You know, I mean, there's certain like anatomy things, like the way the body moves, that when you lower some of the proportions and change some of the things, it makes it easier to manipulate, especially if you're not using like stop motion or something like that. But I think they found a nice in between, doing things like they had the separate eyes, and the separate eyes look real shitty, right? So they didn't want a big Cyclops eye like he has.
Yeah.
Reality, where it's the two coming off of the one. They're like, okay, that's not really favorable in a 3D space when you're going to be turning, and you know, not to mention the side mouth shit, right? So they took the two eyes and they put a piece of like really bright fur between them, so it almost looks like the big Cyclops eye, but it's still the two eyes, so it doesn't look weird at certain angles.
That's brilliant, man. Tails was always my dude, but everything you're saying really checks out because I know the character so well. Do you do any sort of like drawing or sketching? Or you seem to know a lot about like like design and stuff. No,
I just love cartoons.
Yeah, favorite cartoons. Yeah,
I am really bad at drawing and art and things like that. And I have written a Goon comic book, so like I love to write, but as far as actual like doing animation, I don't have a clue. I'm 100% just a fanboy spitting off secondhand shit I've heard, you know.
Hey man, that's cool. And you love it. Also, you know, you made a great point earlier, man. We all kind of like, I started doing video for this podcast and stuff like that during like the lockdown part of the pandemic and all that stuff, man. And it's kind of cool to see, or you know, you were going through something personally and then you gravitated towards Sonic. Like for me, it was wrestling. And I'm so grateful to you guys, which is why I try to give it back, man. I'm just thankful for all the opportunities kept me focused on the craft and working. At the same time, I learned through my time in wrestling not to live and die with wrestling at the same time, man. So that's really cool that like Sonic means something to you like that, man. I love that, man. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I wanted to ask you this shameless promo. We got to talk about this. We got Smash Master Wrasslin coming out. We got to talk about our guy Mastodon putting on this show. You, I believe, are in the Scrambler match for this one. Correct me if I'm wrong. 5-way. Right.
I'm in there with 14 other men.
Wait a minute. Is it 4? Wait, I thought it was 5. The last one was 5. Oh boy.
But they can throw out 9 more, and that wouldn't be a problem for me.
So you're feeling confident going into this one.
Who's in the match?
I got you.
And Marsha.
Kincaid's in it. Obviously, you. Hawthorne. I'm sure you've had some interactions with him. Philly Mike, and the one AJ Evers who did win, if I remember correctly. There's so much wrestling. The last Smash Master Scrambler, so he had won that one, and I think he had chosen this one to have another Scrambler. And Killian, I'm just happy to be working with you Sunday, August 20th. I'm excited to see it.
Are you on commentary for that show?
Yeah, unfortunately, you're stuck with me on commentary, man. So.
I'll have to give commentary notes then.
I love it, man. I'm here for it. I'll get a couple Sonic references in for you. I got you, bro. Maybe I'll even have some Sonic goodies for you. Shameless promo though, man. We got this 5-way here. We saw the last Scrambler. Little strategy going to this one. I'm guessing Big Dust might not be there this time because he's always good to have in the back pocket.
I don't know if Dust will be there. That'll really affect my strategy. I hope Dustin will be there because I kind of need a ride to the show. So
nice.
I need to talk with him, and then I'll talk to you about strategy. How's that?
That's fine.
Maybe he's getting married again, and he won't be available.
It's like that. It's like that, man. And shameless promo again. Smart guy is not giving away too much of the strategy, but this is pretty cool, man. Shameless promo. ECWA has been doing some great stuff. I have to get out to a show, man. I just love the stuff that they're doing, but more so, they're kind of giving you guys and Erica I always feel like there's like regions in the Northeast, like your guys kind of like crew or squad or whatever, a little bit of shine, man. And I love that because I think you guys are all very brilliant. But we have this ECWA, tag team Super 8? Is that how they're doing it?
Yep. Tag team Super 8. The field is insane.
I was just gonna say every team they announced, I was just like, oh, like anyone could win this. Like, and no disrespect, but like there's a lot of heavy hitters in this one, man. How you feeling this one? Are you with Radkey in this one, or who are you with on this one?
I am with Rob, and Rob and I were selected because of all the goons we've been teaming for the longest out of anybody. And of course, Dustin and I have the Super 8 experience, but I can't even close to say that we're favorites in this thing, right? Because of all the tag teams, you talk about tag team success, we are near the bottom of the barrel when it comes to some of these insanely stacked teams like the Main Event and the Rep and even Gun, who we've fought many times. These are teams that have like done such dope shit, and I'm very excited to. This sounds crazy for me to say, even be in it with these other tag teams. The Outfielders, like so many crazy, insane teams. Primal Fear, which I just saw those boys this weekend at PPW. Are very, very excited to stand across from them. We've been kind of bumping around the same places since the start of our careers. So it's maybe we'll meet them, the only other stable in there.
We'll see. Very well deserved. And again, you guys got Dust in your back pocket, so maybe a little advantage there. Just calling it, just being impartial, calling it down the middle, like always.
When we know he'll show up for this.
That's it. I'm excited for that one. And I did want to ask you this one, man. I try not to be cliche here, but I do got to ask you this, man. I always say this on the show. I came up in like the Asbury Park music scene here in New Jersey, man, playing in bands since I was 16, man, and love it. Still love showcasing a lot of these bands here on the show, but I don't know too many people, and this isn't a knock, that have made it in the music business. And for wrestling, it's really cool to see that so many people we've had on the show, so many people that we've worked with, so many people that have been grinding for so many years, man, have essentially captured their dream, sacrificed so much and made it to that next level. Now we have AEW that has all these opportunities, new regime in WWE, which is very interesting, man. I don't want to be cliche here, man, and you could be very politically correct, man. Like, what is the goal for Killian moving forward? Because we've heard all the answers. We've heard this company. We've heard the contract. We've heard people want to just travel. We've heard people want to open a school. What's the goal for Killian moving forward?
So this is my goal. I want to, I'm going to soon take a little break from professional wrestling, and I'm going to start pursuing a career in engineering. I'm going to get like pretty good at engineering, and maybe go get like a master's degree in it and really work hard. And then I'm going to, find the necessary parties, the other people I need, and I'm going to start working on time travel. Okay. And start perfecting time travel and really being able to pull this off time after time. I'm going to go back to the first ever professional wrestling match and kill both participants. So then no professional wrestling ever for anybody.
Beat the system. Brilliant, man. I wouldn't expect anything less from you, but I gotta ask you this one, Killian. I think you got me dying over here because we ask everyone this on the show, man. Last one for me, and thank you for your time again, man. I don't know if you're a big music guy, but say you do get that big pay-per-view entrance, that big mania entrance down the line, which I'm sure you will, man, because we've seen so many people accomplish so much in this business, man. What band or artist is playing you down to the ring?
Pusha T.
What is it?
Pusha T. He put out the album of the year.
Okay. I don't know. What kind of music is that?
It's rap music.
Okay, that's why I don't know. Okay, I got you. Cool. All right. So like a live performance.
Let him say all that on television. Then Pusha T.
It's like that. Okay, I got you. Okay. Very cool.
But that's my current song right now. Let the Smokers Shine the Coops is him. So.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Like blast them would be pretty cool.
Very cool. Anyone, real quick, that you want to work? Because I mean, it's so cool to see everyone just coming in from all over. Like, you really could fight almost anybody right now on the independents. It's so cool. Anyone you want to work with, or that you see that's like an up and comer or anything that you want to work with that you haven't yet?
Sting.
Yeah, Sting. Love. Hey, he's still doing it, man. He is still,
and I say it as a joke, and one day it'll be funny because he won't be wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
For what it is, but now it's just like I'm saying anybody else, huh?
Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah.
70, 60 something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's wild, and he's jumping off of stuff, which is
he is jumping off of stuff, isn't he?
God bless him. Hey, Killian, dude, thank you so much for making the time, man. This is cool to finally get to sit down and get to know you a little bit better, get to talk to you. But before we get out of here, we're all about that shameless promo here on the BCP. Tell them where they can get those awesome Goons shirts, get the merch, follow you on socials, all that good stuff.
We got a Goons store on What a Maneuver. We have Killian McMurphy Pro Wrestling Tees, at the Shooter KM on Twitter, Killian McMurphy on Instagram. Go watch Smash Master Wrestling on IWTV. I don't think it'll be live, right? I think it's pre-taped.
I think pre-taped, yeah.
Pre-taped. So catch that. Catch the other high tension shows that are all over that network, and stay tuned because, like I said, we got something pretty crazy coming up in September. So.
Very interesting. I can't wait for it. I'm a big fan of you guys and all your content. Killian, thanks so much, man. Stay safe out there. I'll see you on the 28th and just continue success moving forward, my man. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. And guys, like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out. Peace.